Thank you, French, Shalom, and greetings to you all. Now, I hope you all take a moment in the coming week to honor and observe Holocaust Remembrance Day. It's held on the 27th of January every year. But it's not the date that's important. It's the purpose, the observation, the commemoration, the elevation of the 6 million martyred souls who said and say, "We shall not be defeated, we shall not be destroyed." There's been genocide almost as long as there's been man. God told us before the flood that man is evil in his heart. It was a mistake to have created them. I keep hoping the redemption will come. I fear now. The average age of the Holocaust survivor will be in their 80s, and most still living are in their high 80s to 90s. They are truly on borrowed time. Living on borrowed time. Without a thought for tomorrow, living on borrowed time. Without a thought for tomorrow. It is a dying generation whose kids are now seniors. We are removing ourselves from the reality as the generation disappears. Today, there are more Holocaust deniers than ever before. We know that the more you say something, the truer it tends to be. Now, we need to approach the day differently. It should not be about the past. We know the past. Reliving it does not keep it alive. It should be about the present, the future. We must focus on education so that it does not become a memory that fades with time and will be gone with the wind. Let's honor it. Let's teach this newer generation so that they never want to see it happen. I love the emails and calls I get, the questions, the suggestions, the thought-provoking, drifting, wondering of you all that makes me think, makes me wonder, makes me ponder. Now, twice in the last little while, I had people sharing things that struck me. And I want to share one or two of them with you. I'm speaking with a dear friend who I've known for more years than I have a right to remember. I knew them as a kid. I watched them with their family, their kids, their parents. He wanted to thank me for something I told him many, many, many years ago when we were talking about how he grew up, which was not the best, and the efforts he made with his young kids, so different than his past, which he lived. And I said to him, be the person you needed when you were growing up. And he said he did. And he never forgot that. And he helped himself and his young family. And another dear friend reminded me that I told her many times that she should focus on what she could control, let the rest go. We often still worry about the things beyond our control, but there's nothing we can do about them. I even find myself doing that occasionally, even though I know better. Sometimes our minds wander off in their own capacities based on old programming and habits. Sometimes we worship out of habit and not out of our mindful individual desire to connect, which we like to do in a personal and meaningful way, kind of like when we find ourselves simply coming together as a like-minded group in a collective consciousness of seeker joint faith, any and all faith, love, any and all love, a true chavura. It's a fellowship, expressing our nature of kindness, compassion, thoughts, feelings, hopes, dreams, and wishes that unites us all in this community house of spirit, sharing and bringing light, keeping fear at bay. And even though together, we're individual in our approach, each connecting in his or her or their own way. So once again, please do go ahead. Invite everybody you know, physically, digitally, psychically, emotionally, spiritually, anyway, to gather and share from Psalm 133, the Hine Matov. Come together. Hine Matov. How good and pleasant it is, brothers and sisters together. Community. 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 Together. We support each other in this community, my friends, so let's all spread love, goodwill, and fellowship to the world. This is you're setting aside a little bit of sacred time in your sacred space to honor and converse with whoever, whatever you happen to believe in, because we all believe in something. It's a part of your kavanah. Your intention that you put out to the universe, it's your goodwill. Goodwill and intention are the roots of what you can control, of what you can correct. It is your intention that sets in motion everything that occurs in your lives. So let's take some time now. Let's use that intention. Send some of that goodwill, some light, some healing out to everyone you know that needs it. Healing and renewal for everybody, because it just floats through space, finding those in need. So send it out for those you know, for the souls and spirits of everybody you love. Think of whoever that needs healing and renewal and love, or just plain goodwill. Focus on it. Call their names. It's not just for people. It's for our pets. It's for the earth. It is the healing of the world. It is the tikkun olam. It's part of our spiritual genetic makeup. We have to help heal the world. It's not something we can complete. It's an ongoing task, and it seems to get harder and harder all the time. It's for us to do in every lifetime. We must each do our part. We must each do what we can to improve and change our own little corner of the world. As we change ourselves, we change the conditions of life. Part of that healing. So when we send thoughts and energy for health and renewal and goodwill for everybody, they don't have to be sick. It's for those in our hearts and our minds. So let's all send energy out for the people in need everywhere. Special thoughts and prayers for those who are truly not well, who have surgery or special care needs. Right? We pray for those who need prayer. You don't have to know them. We want health, recovery, good life for everybody around us. For Jamie and Walter, for Samuel and Cheryl, for Doria, Gloria, Maria, Connie and Ronnie and Fern and Johnny and the Builder, for Kay, Luke, for Pinky and Tony, for Danny, who we all hope had an awesome birthday, for all those suffering and in need. That was just a way where there were terrible winter storms and hurricane winds affecting so many. Let's hope they're okay. Let's not forget to include those familiars of our lives, all of our sacred animal friends everywhere, for everybody you know in need, and for the whole world, and for Devora. Friends, it is the kindness, the healing wishes, goodwill, and love we all send out. It just circles the world, finding those in need. So thank you, each of you, for all you do, for all you care, because the world is a world of spirit, and spirit never dies. Avocado, Makor, may the source of strength bless the ones inform us, help us find the courage, make our lives a blessing, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit. Let us say, Amen. Misha Baruch, let us all have our spirits renewed, because this is the great prayer for healing. We call upon God to heal as He has healed before. Me, Shabarach, may He blessed. Because all healing is a blessing. Let's all send and receive healing and renewal energy in our efforts to love, to share, to care, to grow. Now, we talked last week about how the plagues could serve as an introduction to our story about our protagonist, antagonist, main character. In this play we're watching, we saw the beginning of the beginning last time. We conclude the introduction this week as we read Bo, come. And interestingly enough, it can be one of those words like shalom, which means hello and goodbye, as this one can mean come and go. Now, we don't confuse she's leaving home with come together. We know what we mean. We know how different those are. But here it's simply the result of circumstances, a translation, and meaning. Exodus 10:1, and the Lord said to Moses, come to Pharaoh, because I've made his heart and his servant's heart heavy, for the purpose of my setting these signs of mine among them. Here, come to Pharaoh, go to Pharaoh. They're pretty interchangeable. But what was important was that because clause. God's in control. Last week, many of you found it exciting, invigorating even, refreshing. One even said it was like a massage to the brain. We began looking at Moses, his name, his early life, the special role he was chosen for. How do you know when the Lord's really calling? How do you know it's for you? always be heard in the bush to see. And you may not be liked on Facebook too. Go down Moses, down to Egypt land. Tell old Pharaoh that my people go, 'cause you're walking with the Lord hand in hand. Well, you know what, friends? You, like Moses, always walking with the Lord hand in hand. He's always there with you. You might not just believe it, and you might not know what you were chosen for, but we're all chosen for something. Here we see Moses is just filling a role. God is orchestrating this entire series of events. He's determining what Moses says, and how Pharaoh will react, and what he will do. We now have our last three plagues. Really, they're the big three. Not that the first seven are anything to scoff at. And included with them, it's one great fallacy. But this week we have locusts. Now locusts, they bring this devastation. They contribute nothing. They decimated anything that was left. Darkness. Such that it was a palpable darkness. You could not see your hand in front of you. Darkness brings fear, because we cannot see. Lighting a candle brings light and drives fear away. This dark could not be stopped by candle. And that kind of fear leaves you paralyzed and afraid to move. This is the plague that probably affects people the most still to this day. How many of us still live in darkness? What is it you refuse to see? Do you fear the light because it hurts your eyes? What can we each do to help bring more light to ourselves and to the world? You can certainly start by bringing it into your own life. When you do, you help bring it to others. Finally, there was the death of the firstborn, Makat Becharot. Purposed mass execution. Not firstborn Egyptians. Firstborn in Egypt. For everyone who did not have the blood of the sacrifice on the doorposts and lintels. Kind of like the vaccine passport of ancient times. Now, you can overcome all the plagues of life. You can continue to let growing light into your lives, because light gives us the ability to see it. When we can see, we need not be afraid. So let's take a closer look at these three. Now, that eighth plague is locusts. And Moses and Aaron with him came into Pharaoh, and they said to him, "Thus said the Lord God of the Hebrews, how long can you refuse to humble yourself before me? Send off my people, that they may worship me. For if you refuse to send off my people, look, I'm about to bring tomorrow locusts in all your territory. It will cover the eye of the land, and one will not be able to see the land. It will consume the rest of the remnant left you from the hail, and it will consume every tree that you have growing in the field." Really? There really wasn't much left to lose. But you know what, friends? Locusts contribute nothing. They swarm and destroy. So this is the second plague to deal with swarms. And we learned that doubles, double name calling, double dreams have great meaning and signify really important stuff. And now here we have two similar plagues which deal with swarms. In our modern life, the swarm is the mob. Beware the mob mentality. You can be swept up in it. You can be the victim of it. We continue to see examples of both every single day in the news now. Make it one of your Passover discussions. It's what the holiday is for. Now, each locust can eat its weight in plants each day. And a swarm, I looked this up, a swarm is about 460 square miles and contains anywhere from 40 to 80 million locusts. So a swarm would eat 423 million pounds of plants every day. I didn't think there was that many pounds of plants in the world. Now we're told that the swarm of locusts is so great, you cannot see the land anymore. And I remember when I was in Dubai, and I was in the Burj Khalifa, tallest building in the world. I was looking down, nothing but desert all around. And there on the window, the tallest building in the world, was a locust. And I immediately thought of this plague. The questions I ask myself, and I invite all of you to ask yourselves are, do you contribute and produce? Do you feed off others? Are there parasites in your life? Now this plague was enough. Pharaoh wants to let them go, but he cannot. Not because he doesn't want to. No, he does. But his heart is hardened. Not by him. The locusts destroy what's left, after which God sends the locusts away. There's nothing left in the country. God's not finished. Exodus 10:21. And the Lord said to Moses, stretch out your hand over the heavens, that there be darkness upon the land of Egypt, a darkness one can feel. Now this plague, like I said, is probably the most prevalent in people's lives. How many of us still live in darkness? What is it that we refuse to see? Why do we fear the light? We can each do so much more. We need to bring more light into our own lives. Shine your light on everybody. Shine your light, yes indeed. There are people who've lived in darkness their whole lives. People who just don't believe. They don't understand that their light is evil, because it hurts their eyes. Just lend a hand, try to be helpful, shine the truth, not on lies. Shine your light on truth, my friends. Again, notice that there's a distinction. The Egyptians couldn't see their hands in front of their eyes. But the Israelites had light in Goshen, not because they're better, but because God is demonstrating. Pharaoh wants to let them go, but once again, he cannot. Are there things you want to do? Something stops you from doing. What is it? What do you need to do to complete that? And the Lord toughened Pharaoh's heart. He did not want to send them off. And Pharaoh said to them, go away from me. Watch yourself. Do not see my face. For on the day you see my face again, you shall die. And Moses said, rightly have you spoken. I will not see your face again. Well, we know what's next. The final plague, the 10th. Exodus 11:1. And the Lord said to Moses, yet one more plague shall I bring upon Pharaoh and upon Egypt. Afterward he will send you off from here. When he sends you off altogether, he will surely drive you out from here. And Moses said, thus said the Lord, around midnight, I'm going out in the midst of Egypt, and every firstborn in the land of Egypt shall die. The Lord said to Moses, Pharaoh will not heed you, so that my portents may be multiplied in the land of Egypt. Notice it is I. I am going. It's God who's going to do this, not an angel of death. There was only one angel of death. Joseph Mengele from Auschwitz. Why do we have an angel of death? Just about everybody you know will tell you it was the angel of death who killed the firstborn on that night. You know what, friends? It's because no one wants to think of God as a slayer, a destroyer, which is odd given how he is in the book of Exodus, but it's okay. If you want to attribute this to an angel of death, go ahead. It doesn't change the event or its meaning. It was the final stroke of freedom. The real meaning of Pesach, Passover, is something we're going to talk about in a couple of months when we examine the holiday and why freedom is so important. One of the most interesting things to take notice of is the calendar is now set, and it is set around this holiday, this event. Exodus 12:1, and the Lord said to Moses and to Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, this month is for you the head of months. It is the first for you of the months of the year. The month he's talking about is spring, Abib, which subsequently is known as Nisan. Not the fall like when Rosh Hashanah is. The first month of the year begins with the spring equinox. It's the only time that God names a month in the entire Torah. All others are numbered from here. And the full instructions for the holiday of freedom are given. On the 10th of that month, the people are to select the lamb, the biblical animal to sacrifice, and it shall be a thing to be kept by you until the 14th day of the month. The whole congregation of the community of Israel shall slaughter it at twilight. They shall take from the blood and put it on the two doorposts and on the lintel, on the houses in which they will eat it. What a powerful ritual that is. To take a sprig of hyssop, dip it in the blood, mark your doorpost and lintel so that God will pass over your door that night. This is the beginning of Passover. We were instructed. and thus shall you eat it. Your loins girded, your sandals on your feet, your staff in your hands, and you shall eat it. Taste, it is a Passover offering to the Lord. And I will cross through the land of Egypt on this night, and I will strike down every firstborn in the land of Egypt, from man to beast. I am the Lord. The blood will be a sign for you upon the houses in which you are, and I will see the blood, and I will pass over you. No scourge shall become a destroyer amongst you when I strike in the land of Egypt. And this day shall be a remembrance for you. You shall celebrate it as a festival to the Lord throughout your generations, an everlasting statute. You shall celebrate it 7 days. Shall you eat flat bread. As we get closer to the holiday, we're going to talk about what that holiday means, what the plagues meant and still mean, what the food represented, what the real purpose of the holiday was, and it still is. It's in a couple of months when we observe this holiday, which was not really, it was the single most important holy day in the Torah. That's been supplanted and taken over by Yom Kippur, but for biblical times, this is what it was all about. And it happened at midnight that the Lord struck down every firstborn in the land of Egypt, from the firstborn of Pharaoh sitting on his throne to the firstborn of the captive who was in the dungeon, and every firstborn of the beast. Friends, death takes many forms. We all know people whose spirit has died. They go through the motions of life. Sometimes it's because of hardships. Sometimes it's because their own spirits have been crushed, ridiculed, scorned. So ask yourself, where have I crushed another? Where have I been crushed? Where have I been encouraging? Where have I been encouraged? These are the questions we ask ourselves. These are the 10 plagues. This was the calling card of God, his introduction to the world. These are the plagues we each still face every day of our lives. We can each do something about every one of them. We can ensure they are not part of us anymore. Now, the Hebrew term for the exodus from Egypt is Yetziat Mitzrayim, the going out from constraint. Friends, let us all leave the land of constraint. It still holds each and every one of us. Yes, my friends, the world is sacred. So does everything in it. Express your gratitude, light a candle, make a wish. Celebrate your life and the lives of those you love. Share your feelings with them. Live free, be free, honor your freedom, be well, be happy, be blessed. Share and honor the light, all who live in light, and continue to shine. Continue to send everybody you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace and freedom for everyone. An end to terror, an end to hatred. Send out peace, harmony, goodwill, healing to all who need it. Learn to forgive. Learn to love. Open your hearts. Honor the relationships of life. Tell those you love that you love them. Take advantage of the time you have and enjoy the journey, because we take the twists and turns and the patterns that weave through the fabric of our lives in our efforts to grow, to learn to be to love. So please do love. Now bless you all. Have a fantastic week, a week of love, a light, a week of peace, a week of miracles. Examine your intentions. Use them to imprint your will on the universe, because we set in motion everything that happens. It is our intention, our cabinet, our cause, our effect. It's all linked. You have time to forgive and to be forgiven. You have the knowledge of what's good and bad, so acknowledge what you've done wrong to yourself, to God, to any person you've wronged. Ask forgiveness. But do so with sincerity, accountability, vulnerability. Forgive those who've hurt you as you learn to be forgiving and compassionate, because the secret of forgiveness, compassion, and peace is an acceptance. Can you accept yourself, other people in the world just as they are? Can you accept life as it is without trying to control it? If you do, you can experience the peace that acceptance brings. So do not stop your journey. Do not stop moving towards your promised land. It is your home. Keep on dreaming, keep on being, keep sharing, keep shining, keep teaching, keep spreading joy and goodwill. Do not follow fear, follow love. It's always in front of you. And remember to have faith, an unwavering adherence to principle, just as I have faith in the principle of love and all of you. Act with purity of heart and mind. Despise not, defraud not, hate not. Cherish all. Honor every child of God, every creature of the earth. May all people know peace in this year. May you nurture kindness and love everywhere. Work to be present in the body. Expand your heart, quiet your mind. Because the deepest source of real power lies in your consciousness and your ability to be mindful, to be aware, to be present in all of life's circumstances. Continue to touch and transform the lives around you. You're never alone. You're forever blessed, and you have the ability to bring blessings to everybody you meet. Health, love, and renewal to everybody you come across. We're all energy, and energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transformed. It's your words that give you the power to transform, to love, to bless. So be generous, because as you bless others, you bless yourself. Love with the heart. Because we're all part of a greater whole embrace. Love, not fear, forgiveness, not anger. Be there for someone, because someone will always be there for you whether you know it or not. Continue to explore faith and belief. Never accept shame as a natural state. Whatever you feel others have felt, whatever you've experienced others have too. We share together. We learn together, and we help each other, because we're each of us trying to find love and acceptance. We all have or could have that special someone in our lives, so find them. Tell them what they mean. And keep forgiving those you need to forgive. Keep asking forgiveness from those you need to ask forgiveness of. And remember, every step takes you closer to your promised land. You're on your own road to freedom. You are not lingering in a jail of oppression. Even though clouds white curtain in a far-off corner flashed, the hypnotic splattered mist was slowly lifting. Electric lights still struck like arrows, fired but for the ones condemned to drift, or else be kept from drifting. Told it for the searching ones on the speechless seeking trail, for the lonesome-hearted lovers with too personal a tale. If a rich, unharmful, gentle soul is placed inside a jail, gazed upon the child of freedom flashing. Well, thank you for joining me, friends. Have a great week. Keep exercising forgiveness. Be thankful, be gracious, be kind, be loving. Believe in yourself and in love. Continue to spread a little goodwill to the world. Never forget you're the miracle in somebody else's life. Light a candle for the martyrs. Shabbat shalom and blessings to you all. Take care.